welcome to my workshop. My name's Darren, and today we're going to have a look at the Ryobi 1 Plus 18 volt power washer. That's this fella here. So what the unit basically is meant to be is basically a battery powered equivalent of something like a Karcher. So a jet power washer that you would normally plug into mains, but this one works on a battery. So a bit like the powered scrubber that I showed you in a previous video, this fella is designed to get wet, and we have a sealed compartment for the battery. So here, battery goes in, and it will take a 9 amp hour battery if you can find one. I've spent a fair bit of time looking for some 9 amp hour batteries, and they don't seem to be available anymore. Not here anyway, but that's okay. So we've got a water resistant or waterproof to a large degree container for the battery because it's designed to get wet. Simple little on off switch underneath and a little locking mechanism to stop you accidentally turning it on. A connection point for a hose and a connection point for nozzles. The nozzles are made up of 2 arms. We've got this piece which is an extender and this piece which has the rinse heads on it. So you can use it with or without the extender for extra reach. They just click in like so. Or if you don't want to use both, that's fine. You can just use one for a more balanced, shorter little unit, if you like, or getting into smaller areas. One of the great things about this is actually this hose that it comes with. There's a filter at one end, as you can see. This is like a little filter for keeping out the big chunks, not the finer stuff. And the other end clips on there. And where this really shines is you can take this to somewhere where you wouldn't ordinarily have access to pressurized water and just plop this end in a bucket and still go on and use the unit. However, if we take a look at the unit, there's no way the piston in here can be particularly big. Obviously it's got to be smaller than the housing it fits into. So we're using a fairly small piston and we're using battery power. So it's just not going to compare to a big mains powered unit. So it's not going to do everything a mains powered unit could do. But for some people, this still might be worth having. So let's have a look at what it does well, what it doesn't do well, and you can make your own mind up. Now the head has a 3-position nozzle. We've got a 15-degree head which puts out like a flat spray, obviously at a 15-degree fan angle, and we can turn it. And we've got a turbo mode, which as you can imagine makes the water swirl around like this. And the last one is a rinse, which really is just like a big shower head, slightly more pressure. Alright, we're just going to try the 15-degree head and give this a bit of a blast. So as you can see, it's good for cleaning the dust off things. It's good for removing things like spiders' webs and corners, gets them off no problem. One of the biggest downsides is this connection here for the hose is terrible. You get a little bit of pressure on this and the thing comes off. Now this is a fairly new connector, and out the front I have a brand new connector and it still comes off. So a default really lies with this. Because we're pulling it around, it's pulling on the hose and it just pulls off. If you had a mains unit, of course that wouldn't happen because the main thing would be sitting still and you would just be using a nozzle on the end of a hose. You can see here there's some marks on the floor, some ground in dirt on the pavers. Now a larger system would definitely blast that out, no problem. Likewise these bricks along here. So let's give that a try and see how we go. Now it might be a bit difficult to tell with the water pooling up on top of it, but neither on the 15-degree setting nor on the turbo setting did that clean those bricks very well at all. You can see there's a tiny bit of dirt has been removed from here and here, but for the most part the bricks are still quite dirty, so it's not great. not for that anyway. Now one of the places it does shine is cleaning outdoor furniture. There's enough pressure to be able to blast the dirt off, or at least most of it in the way of the dust. And because we've got the bucket, we can actually do a trick with the soap. But let's just try a straight rinse first. I'm going to use the 15 degree because that gives us the most pressure. And we'll just blast some spider's webs off this outdoor furniture. Don't know if you can see there, but we've got some spider's web going on here and down the leg. We'll get rid of that and then we'll move on to the table. I mentioned this hose earlier, and this is one of the times that the hose comes in really handy. I've got myself a bucket of soapy water here. Nothing special, it's just water with a tiny bit of dishwashing liquid in it. But because I want to clean the outdoor table, and because we're going to be eating off it, I do want to get a bit of soap on there. So we can take this fella, switch the head to turbo, and then away we go. And this is an ideal way for soaping something like outdoor furniture. Now obviously you could do the same thing when cleaning a car in order to soap it up. You could rinse it first, then spray the soap over it. Now speaking about cleaning cars, while it's great for hosing off the dust or soaping the car up, it's not so great for getting off things like fly spots or road tar. As you can see here, I gave this a good squirt and it just didn't work. And yet when I touched the fly spot afterwards with my finger, it just dissolved and sort of ran away. So the pressure on it's not great. So you might be wondering, what is the battery life like on something like this? Well, the biggest battery I've got that I can use is a 5 amp hour. So I tried that out and I was able to wash my car and my camper trailer and still have 2 bars left over on the battery indicator at the end of it. So it seems to last quite well. So as we've seen, this doesn't have the same pressure as a mains powered unit and doesn't do some of the jobs that a mains powered unit can do, but it really shines in the way of portability. It runs off a battery, so there's no cord to plug into a mains power outlet, and if you need to, you can run it out of a bucket rather than have to use pressurized water supply. So for people where the portability is important, let's say for example you were down the back of a paddock doing something down there where you didn't have mains power or a tap to access, then this would be the sort of thing for you. If you're at home and you want to clean the black spots out of your driveway, maybe you just take the plunge and buy something a bit more expensive. Alright, hopefully that's been of some help. Have a great day and I will catch you in the next video.